Hello everybody, in this video I will basically be reviewing my JSRF any percent world record speedrun with a time of 1:36:44 in IGT. So yeah, let's go basically. What I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm going to look through all the parts with gameplay. I will skip cutscenes, but I will be looking at the gameplay and I will basically give my commentary on if I thought it was good or that kind of thing. So yeah, let's start. I will just show quick load, even though that isn't part of the run from an IGT perspective. It's one of those unique things that only saves time RTA and doesn't save any time IGT. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is all fine. There's nothing particularly stupid that happened right at the beginning, which is good. Okay, I didn't go for the swag Dal transferias, which is kind of sad, but there we are. That looked good to me. Although it's a lot harder when it comes to the really small stuff, especially in like the garage. It's a lot harder to give an accurate idea of how good it was when I'm just looking back on it, but it looks fine to me. That looked fairly okay, and 28 cans is pretty much fine. Well, it is fine. It's all good. Okay, 120, fine. When it comes to like looking at the splits, I will be looking more at sorry about that. I'll be looking more at the RTA stuff, just because that's what I'm most used to. But again, IGT is what kind of really matters.
Game's gonna start soon, and y'all gonna be the one making the plays.
Okay.
Ready, scumbags.
It can be hard to tell how much I should skip forward, but I'll try my best. Okay, that is kind of sad. And rather pointless, but there we are. That was okay, a little bit slow, but yeah, still fine to be honest. With them, it's only really a problem if you miss a spray. Oh, by the way, I just want to point this out. I don't know, I can't remember how much of a problem it is, but missing these first two yellow cans there is kind of stupid. Definitely shouldn't happen. Okay, good. Hopping to maintain speed. Ouch. Okay, that is extremely stupid. That's the first, like, proper, like, big mistake. Yeah, that really isn't good. That really isn't good. Okay. Yeah, so I lost about 7 seconds, I think, just pretty much just from that. I don't know why I went so far around to get the tape, but yeah, I mean it's probably less risky if you want to get it without landing on the stairs and slowing down, but still kind of a strange way to get it. Okay. Probably could have skipped this, but doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. My can management, which I will be referring to as canagement, which is just how many cans I have, and like if it's good, it means I have a good amount. If it's bad, a bad amount. Pretty simple. There's a better way to do that now. This bit here, but that's fine. But yeah, my canagement is low because I missed the 2 yellows I talked about earlier. Good angle. I think that might have been the full N2R, which is very nice. Pretty rare I get the full N2R. That was pretty close, but I'm kind of used to doing that. Yeah, my canagement is bad. There's definitely going to be something annoying that's going to happen because of it. In this case, the answer was I didn't boost in this part, and again, I didn't shuffle, so that lost me quite a bit of time. Okay, looking out to be a 122, maybe. If I don't do anything strange. Okay, yeah. I would think 122. And 122.83, okay. Or 0.83, I guess.
本部から各局スケート走行中の少年を確認現在道玄坂付近を移動中近い局は現場へ急行せよ
Yo, 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 the Rikaku group's dog just
Again,
showed up.
probably could have
You
skipped
probably
this,
ain't
but
looking to your autographs.
anyway.
Let's use those pretty white shirts and do some serious artwork.
Yeah, this is definitely slow, unfortunately. Definitely slow. Kind of a slowish cop fight as well, but it didn't look that bad. 9:59 maybe, 9:58, something like that. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, Dogen, that was just bad. Unfortunately.
Cover up that freaky looking graffiti.
I mean, I actually lost 10 seconds compared to my goal. So, yeah, definitely not good. Not good at all. I think the best split time I've had for it, RTA, is 9:48. So, yeah, definitely not a good start. I think this is a good graffiti section though so far. That was a bit of a bad quick turn, but it's fine. Alright, got the dash. Yeah, this is pretty fast, definitely. Definitely pretty fast. I don't know if you can actually beat that bus. The one here. I don't know if you can beat it, so you just go before it. If you can, it's probably very, very, very close though, so yeah, I'm just not sure. Okay. Not the best movement there, but it's fine. Looks like I'm not quick turning as much as I should be on quite a few of these cases. That was pretty good though. I managed to miss quite a few cans though, so that's not great. Whether or not I'll be able to get up to 10 here is definitely a question. 8. Yikes. Okay. Just going ahead and skip part of that. Oh, yeah, I managed to get 2 there, that's fine. Okay, that looked like a lane boost into a frame boost, maybe. That's cool. Alright, go down boost, nice. Did we get enough? We got the 5 there, did we get the 5 here? Yes, good. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. The kind of more interesting and I think a bit faster way to do this is pretty much the moment it goes up, you do a trick jump and you basically land, like, you use the roof of the bus shelter to land, like, where you land there, but it's just quicker. So that's a bit of a shame, but it's fine. Obviously just didn't feel like going for it that time. Okay, yeah, I didn't boost here. I believe it's faster if you do, to get over to the soul. However, it is more risky, and I can explain that with the combo challenge. Okay, let's just skip his thing. Right, so you can do this without boosting at the beginning. You can get all the way from the ramp. If you jump at the very end of the ramp before it goes on to the kind of lamppost thing, what that will do is that you can get far enough over to land there without a boost. And I think that it's better to use the boost at the place I was talking about than there, but again, this is more difficult by quite a long way if you don't boost at the beginning. Okay, that's all fine. Alright. I think I missed one. Yeah, that is annoying. Definitely annoying. Okay, yeah, it's not a great cop fight, but it will do. Also not a great Shibuya. I did save time, but I'm still in the slow area, but yeah, definitely not great. Definitely a bad chapter 1. And one thing I will say is that I believe the fastest I've had on the Shibuya terminal split, RTA, is 15:17. So that's already like 14 seconds or so that I've already wasted. But that's only my best. But if you talk about like an actually good sort of time, that would be more around the low 15:20s. So definitely not a good beginning, unfortunately.
His favorite mint candy and came back with coffee flavored instead.
Also, these splits are a long way from amazing, so the ones I'm running against. So yeah, not a great beginning, unfortunately. Ah, right, now we've got the first really annoying part of the run. At least in my opinion. This jump is not easy. I think my consistency for it is probably about 70%. If you miss it, you usually lose at least 15 seconds, which, I mean, if I had carried on, I wouldn't have got world record if I hadn't got there. So, you know, it's a good thing I did. Anyway, you get that, and then you have to get the right angle and boost out to this one. So yeah, that's definitely not easy. I mean, it's not horrendous either, but it's definitely an annoying part, shall we say.
The heart of Tokyo's entertainment district. Now get out there and
And there's a lot more to come.
Nasty graffiti and paint.
110番入電中、本部から各局、中央街を暴走中の者がいるとの通報。近い局は現場へ急行せよ。繰り返す。林から本部。戦車をあるだけ。
Okay, good.
了解です。
Nice,
本部から
nice,
全
nice.
車両緊急出動せよ。
Definitely good. Definitely good.
ガキを見つけたら、とにかくぶっ放せ。
Okay, that was properly good. I mean, there's not much else to say, but that was definitely good.
機構特隊から本部。目標捕捉。これより攻撃を開始する。
The streets are turning into a demilitarized zone. I don't think
It's
they'll
definitely not the
allow vehicles
easiest
to obey
movement
traffic signs.
in the
Take
game
out
to do that
nasty
part
iron behavior.
fast enough, but we're good. Okay. Now the management can get very tight here, so quite a lot of the time you can end up with 0 cans at this point, or not even enough to have sprayed both of those tanks. So yeah. But most of that comes from if you manage to get to 30 in the Shibuya cockfights, so yeah. I think it's interesting that the cans carry over, to be honest, especially between chapters. Okay, good. Okay, didn't knock him off, but that's a very, it's definitely quite an inconsistent thing to try and do. And it only saves 2 seconds if you do it perfectly, so... Okay, this jump can definitely be annoying, but it's not as annoying, I would say, as the last one I was talking about with the double souls, I guess, at the beginning of Chua Street. Well, it's actually in Shibuya Terminal, but it's in the Chua Street split. Okay, good. Getting this soul. Nice. I believe this is soul number 37, but we'll see. Yep, 37. Nice. Okay, that was good. Definitely good. We managed to collect all of them and drop off at a good angle and have 30. Definitely good. That was a little bit slow. I think we might have got to kiss the rail off of that, but I'm not entirely sure. Might have been a lane boost. A lane boost into a frame boost into a kiss the wall. Nice. That's a 3 combination, I think. Definitely good. And 24 cans is fine. To be honest, quite a lot less is fine, but 24 is definitely good. And really good jump, nice. Alright. Yeah, that was a pretty solid Chua Street, definitely. Definitely quite good. Unless I do something weird here. This is, I believe, quite a good split. It can definitely be hard to tell, looking back, but okay, yeah, this is a good split. My gold for this is quite absurd, really. So being like within 2.5 of it is really good. And now we're ahead of the splits again. So good split. 2309 isn't particularly good. I have had barely sub 23s before, but you know it was a good Chua Street. It just wasn't a good chapter 1. Okay. A bit of a slow section there, but it's fine. That's definitely quite annoying for me to try and slow down right there. I'm going for the, I'm pretty sure I went for the slow version of Rip Skip, but it's okay. Fast version is you kind of go to the right like now, and then line it up a little bit, and then boost like more quickly, but this is, for me at least, setting it up like this is way more consistent, so I don't really care. And I think the other version only saves about a second or 2, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, that is Rip Skip. It saves, I think, about maybe 1.5, maybe a little bit more, 1.5 minutes or so. Basically, it just skips a race in Chua Street. Okay. Alright, went for the rail. Okay, that doesn't look great. Well, actually, it was quite good, because it was a quick cycle cockfight. Yeah, I think that's fine. Skipped the billboard, that's good. Ah, yes. Not going for the other spray yet, that's good. That was interesting. But that was a good backup to the situation, definitely. Nice. Okay, that is very close. That was very close. Okay, this is Rukaku Hayashi Skip. You have to be very careful when spraying this. If I went just a tiny bit closer to the spray, I would probably activate possibly the longest cockfight in the game. And it is very annoying. There's a ridiculous amount of cops, and in fact I think it takes about 1.5 minutes roughly, so that also saves about 1.5 minutes. But yeah, a common thing with the glitches we use is that a lot of it is to do with avoiding a hitbox for something to happen. So the reason why here we don't just carry straight on and do this strange thing is because the area where the cop fight starts is like to the right of Gum right now, so you have to be careful not to activate it. But that's definitely a common theme with glitches in this game. A lot of it's to do with avoiding hitboxes. Rip skip is a little different. Rip skip is basically just going around a section you're not supposed to be able to get through until you've done a race. So that's more avoiding or going around something rather than avoiding something, but it's still interesting. Okay, got that. Nice. That is a very nice backdash. Spraying this. Good. I believe it saves about a second to get that spray there rather than earlier. Okay, get the soul. Nice. And another very nice backdash. Okay, get the cans. Nice. $30 cans. Nice. Let me just see how much. Yeah, this is. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was definitely a pretty good Rukaku Dai Heights. And yeah, now now we're at a point where the time is actually like pretty okay. Like 27:01 is pretty good. So we've come back from the bad chapter 1 quite a lot, really. Yeah, it's definitely good. Okay, I can skip some of this. Right. Okay, this is called light side skip. Basically, it isn't really a skip. I mean, it is kind of, because it skips part of the light side, but it's more about it just gets to somewhere faster. That's all it does. I think it gets to where you need to go about 20 seconds faster, but I'm not entirely sure about that. There's nothing special about it, really. Just a better way to get there. Spotlight hop, nice. Definitely like that strat. Okay, didn't go for the slightly faster thing there, but it's fine. Alright. Oh nice, I got that. Cool. I'm just gonna see something very quickly. Okay, I did do the normal thing. Alright. That was a little bit painful. And management is, I think, a little bit low, but it's fine. Frame boost. Very nice. Okay, that was also good. I think maybe got a kiss the rail. Okay, that is a little bit of a shame. Ideally, you want to get both of these blues on this billboard, but because of my angle, I missed one of them. It's not that big a deal, but it is somewhat annoying. Anyway, I was actually quite lucky with being able to get through this bit there. That usually doesn't happen. Okay, frame boost. Nice. That just cuts out a little bit of the section that you're supposed to go down. Very nice. Almost perfect. One thing I'm gonna talk about is dark skip, or basically, yeah, dark side skip. It's very different to light side skip, and I think it saves more time. The reason why I changed characters and then changed back to gum is because basically what that does is it restarts some dialogue. So you can see if I do this and then yeah, so effectively how this works is you change character and then change back to Gum because she's better really, mainly because of her cornering stat. Basically it restarts some cop dialogue, and basically you can then interrupt the dialogue with this cutscene where it shows the dragon. And what this does is it basically makes the spotlight things in the next area not spawn. So that saves quite a lot of time. But yeah, a very common theme as well in this game is resetting dialogue, usually by changing characters, and that can give you quite a lot of interesting effects. Alright, large amount of cans, which is nice. So yeah, usually by about this point, the spotlight things show up. But we have skipped them, so that's not a worry. That's just a nice way of doing it, to get to that soul. Okay. That was a little bit slow, but okay, that is interesting. That was also a bit slow, but it didn't really lose me time, or at least not much. I didn't fall off. That's the main thing.
Poison Jam's worst enemy, Rapid 99, has been seen on 99th Street. Well,
7 cans is not great, but it's fine.
From the Queens at 99th Street.
Yeah. Kind of slow. Quick Dragon, which is just a nice way to get... Well, that's Quick Dragon, basically, just a nice way to get there fast. Also a nice hop off there, definitely. Okay, so now we have the flag battle, and the way we do this is kind of interesting. There are 5 flags, all you need to do is get 3 of them, and basically this is the fastest way we know of doing it, and it's interesting because it's different from how you may expect. You don't actually go after the flags yourself, or at least not right away. You actually wait and let them get the first one, and you're waiting here because this is where the second one shows up. So instantly you get the second one. But yeah, you actually let them get one of them. In fact, you actually let them get 2 of them. But yeah, it should be noted that all 5 will be gotten even if you've won by getting 3. So you have to wait for it, effectively. Okay, that was a little bit slow. Get that flag. Another good 99 street, I think. Definitely. Only lost about 2 seconds to my goal. Definitely a good 99 street. I think my best split there is like 32-59. So this is clearly good.
You don't know what the master is.
So yeah.
No hurry. You'll be dude. Probably loves fish too.
And what's really interesting is this is even with the very weak chapter 1. Well, not very weak, but definitely weak. But yeah, chapter 2, very solid. Very solid indeed. I think that was a lane boost and a frame boost. Okay. Probably a little slow, just because of how it worked out, but it's something.
Now remember, the sewers are fair.
Okay, I guess I should talk about something here. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to go for something called cucumber. That was actually an attempt at cucumber, it just wasn't a very good one. Now at this point I gave up. Or didn't, apparently. Yeah, I didn't give up. So this is me trying to go for a trick called cucumber. And then I gave up. But cucumber is a trick that's only ever been done twice, and only ever with combo. It is very cool. Or I think it's only been done twice. It may have been done 3 times, but I think recorded it's only twice, I think. It's a very tough trick. I think it is both a frame and pixel perfect trick. And basically what happens is that you land on like the very edge of the rail of the half pipe, and that pushes you slightly through the gate. And if you also, because there's also an area you can clip there, if you also clip through a little bit at the same time, it pushes you far enough out, and then you death warp and skip the whole of Garam challenges. So that saves, I think, about 1.5 minutes. But it is very difficult. To give you an idea, I have personally tried it over 700 times and haven't got anywhere. So it's... And I think you only realistically have time for about 4 or 5 goes per run. So it's really not easy. But yeah, that is an area where the run could get significantly shorter. Well, not really significantly, but from a perspective of kind of how optimized it is at the moment, that's an unoptimized area, technically, even though it's kind of unreasonable to try and go for it, really. It's not unreasonable to go for it, it's just unreasonable to expect you'll get it. But it's not so far down the realm of like being impossible that it's not worth at least trying for. So, yeah. Okay, this is just me doing the Garam challenges. Okay, good jump, I think. I think this is quite a good position. Okay, this is sewer skip. Now, cucumber is effectively a form of sewer skip. By the way, if you get cucumber, you death warp and you will spawn about here. But basically, cucumber is garum challenges and sewer skip. What I do here is just sewer skip. So, sewer skip on its own saves about 4.5 minutes. It completely skips the sewers, really. And it's actually a very simple trick. Because the sewers only load after you talk to Garum there. And you automatically talk to him the moment you touch the ground. However, if you boost and jump right at the end of this thing, you can get far enough round that you basically avoid the area where you would be drawn to talking to him, which would then load the sewers. So you just go straight past it and you can carry on into bottom point. But yeah, that's basically how it works. It only works on some versions of the game, but that's a whole other area. Okay, sewer skip split, fine, I think actually, well, yeah, it was a bit slow, actually, yeah. Anyway, so now we have bottom point, should be interesting. Okay, 29 cans is fine, really. Yes, right, now this clip, I don't know how much time it saves because we've been doing a form of this clip for as long as I know, which is about 2.5 years, but basically you jump, in this case, this way of doing it, you jump about there and you can basically get pushed through the wall like that, and this is a death warp, so you then die and then you load here basically, or you don't die, you just fall and take damage, and then you load in the fight, and this is because the area at which you respawn is in the area where it activates the fight, so, or the tagger's tag or whatever, so that's just how it works. But yeah, this movement is, it's not that bad, but it's not particularly easy either. But yeah, this specific way of doing it, I think has been around for over a year, but there was an earlier way I know of, which is actually quite different. You get a different soul and that kind of thing. Anyway, the fight. Okay, tricking to make sure I didn't take full damage. Didn't get the Jabro clip, which is very nice. Okay, good. Nice Del Transfero there. And good. Pretty good bottom point. Now, this is a 38-34 RTA. The best I have ever gotten is, I think, 38-29. It's around there. It's definitely not lower than that, I think. So, I mean, this is really good, which is really quite amazing considering how bad Chapter 1 was. But it just shows how much potential there is still.
But it was obviously Poison Jam who kidnapped the statue.
But yeah, that's kind of the first section of the game. Let's just skip some of this. Okay, Hikage, possibly the hardest section in the whole game to speedrun. That is a little bit unfortunate, but that is a rather inconsistent section anyway. Trying to land correctly on the rails. It's rather strange. Okay, so right now I'm doing a trick called Quikage 2.0, and this is basically it. Spraying this, that, and then basically I go straight to the end here and then go left for a particular reason. It's just to be in a better position. But this bit's not that bad. The next jump is horrible as far as I'm concerned. This jump here, I have about a 55% consistency of doing it well enough to not reset. So that is already quite horrible. Yeah, I've lost a lot of runs to that jump. So it's not that easy.
Run away, little bugs.
Don't know why I'm sitting through this. Alright, spray that. One thing I will say is I could probably make a much more in-depth kind of review video, but I'm trying to keep this not over 5 hours, so. I mean, if people wanted to see that, I could always do it, but I don't think people have to be boarded, is that the right word? I don't know. Bored by that for too long. Okay. That's fine. It's not the most risky way of doing it, but it's fine. I don't know, that didn't look great to me. Okay, something I have to talk about now. This is called Quikage. Basically, it is another annoying thing. My consistency for it is about 70%. but that is a lot of practicing. So the first bit is this jump here. Actually, I missed it. Right, so I'm going for a jump here which is not particularly easy. Yes, this is just called Quickage, but the reason I missed it the first time around is gonna be to do with the angle or the jump not being right. This jump, the way to do it, you have to have your thumbstick in a very specific position, and there's only about a 2 or 3 frame window to actually jump. So it is very precise. But yeah, this is another really big mistake or problem with the run, is the losing, I think it's about 10 seconds from falling down. Let's see, so it's from about there that I start losing time. Yeah, it's about 8 or 9 seconds. Definitely not great, but there we are. Okay, and then you jump through to here. And do that. Okay. The main thing here is that I have enough cans to boost, which means it is better. Okay, not great. Not great at all. You want to be able to fully get rid of the armored cop's armor before this. Not great. Definitely not great. 18 cans. I don't know if that's horrible, but yeah, I don't think it's amazing either. I don't think I went for the blind jump. Oh yeah, that's quite sad. Lost quite a few seconds there. You usually want to have at least enough to boost quite a lot earlier. Okay, I go for the full 30 cans, so that JP Heli Skip 2 cycle Japanese Heli Skip will not be horrendous. Yeah, one thing I want to point out is this kind of section, and some of Kibo Gauka Hill is not the most optimal way to do it. It's just, you know, it's whatever. It's close though. One thing I'll quickly mention is that with Hikage, there is a trick called Feather Press, which might save about 1.5 minutes. It saves about 1.5 minutes on the English version of the game, but that's the only version where it's been confirmed to work. If it does work on the Japanese version, then it would save about 1.5 minutes. However, it is also frame perfect. So, and it's not easy at all. It's horrible, basically. Yeah, I think this is the worst split in the run, though. Very poor. I already had 9.5 seconds to save, and on top of that, I lost 13.5. So, definitely very bad. Just not good at all.
With the noise tanks controlling the Immortals, they've managed to their own pace.
Okay, this is gonna get quite complicated, but anyway, let's go. First thing I do is get up to 30 cans. I do want to just say that with this whole section, you can do it with less cans, and it's a way that saves about 2 seconds, but it is absolutely horrendous, so I'm not really even going to go there right now. I have done it before in a run, I think, but it's just not really worth it. Okay, so this whole thing is to try and skip the helicopter fights. So, because you can't spray while the helicopters are there, that's basically the reason. And you have to basically go around the whole map, pretty much, to get to Wilton. So, I spray those tags. Come down here. And I just want to say that the window for getting back here fast enough is like, I mean, if I was a half a second slower, the run would be dead, basically. And it's like that with a lot of, pretty much everything in JP Heli Skip, so it's very close. So basically what that does is, because I changed the character, it resets the dialogue, and the helicopters only spawn if you're in the right place and after the dialogue finishes. So if you manage to reset it by changing characters before it finishes, you can carry on, basically. So that's why we're resetting again. Now, this is something called 2-cycle heli skip, so it means that you only have to go once round and then back and then change characters. You don't actually have to get more cans, but that aside, then you can just carry on. It used to be 3 cycles, so you had to spray, come back, and then go. This is just spray, come back, go. So it's just faster. I think it's about 12 or 10 or 12 seconds faster. 10 if you do this version, 12 if you do the horrible version. Then 3-cycle Japanese heli skip. So this section here is definitely quite difficult. You have to do that one, this one, boost, and then do this jump, which is pretty precise. You have to land on this roof and then go down it and then jump off it. This is similar. You have to basically land on the roof there and then go along here and then here. And all of those parts is to try to be fast enough. This is very, very close. Quarter of a second slower, you can't make it. It's that kind of thing. So any tiny, intricate way to do it faster is very important. I got a frame boost there though, so that helps a lot. I could have boosted again there, but I decided not to because that's a bit more efficient, even though it's slightly riskier. I think this is around the point right here where that's like the end of the area where the helicopters can spawn. So it basically, or where it can start to happen. So if you manage to get past here, you can avoid them completely. So yeah, that's Japanese 2-cycle heli skip. Over just straight up going for the helicopters, I think it saves about 50 seconds. But yeah. Just one thing I haven't addressed yet is that the reason I'm playing with Japanese is because it is significantly faster. I think it's about 1:30 faster. Just mainly from cutscenes, but there are gameplay differences. Not massive ones, but there are little ones. Well, some of them are quite big actually, but not all of them. Like, heli skip in the English version is a lot easier than heli skip in the Japanese version. I paused there for a second just to make sure I did have enough souls. I don't know, I'm not gonna get it, pause it at the right time, but it says 37, which is exactly what I need. Any less, and I would know that I needed to go up the rails, because there's one like right at the top. So that's just to make sure I'm on track. Okay, that was a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I managed to get all the way down, nice. It's actually quite difficult to do that. Okay, I got 1 frame boost, that's nice. Missed some of the blue cans, which is a bit of a shame, but it's okay. Yeah, this clearly wasn't a particularly good Kibugaki Hill, unfortunately, but it's still kind of okay. Just a real shame about Hikage.
And the holy sanctuary of the immortals. Do me a favor, give the immortals now.
本部から各局、スケート走行中の少年を確認。現在ファラオパーク付近を移動中。近い局は現場へ急行せよ。
This is definitely an annoying cockfight. All of the cockfights in the game are annoying, really. Mainly because of there's definitely quite a bit of inconsistency. It's one of those things where it is kind of consistent if you do it exactly right, but doing that is not easy. It can be very changeable. Okay. So 25 cans, that is actually bad. You want to have 30. Yeah, that is bad. Anyway, I get on here. Normally, oh actually no. Okay, yeah. So I boost there. If I had 30 cans at the beginning instead of 25, I would have cut across about here, and I would have gone left and jumped like to that side of the statue rather than going further along and then jumping through there. Nice. Good. This is just a miniature death warp, I guess, to get here. Get those cans. Now, Skyscraper has a lot of very interesting death warps. This is one that really doesn't make sense, but anyway. If you do this jump, you will... I mean, it's technically a death warp because you like take damage and then you are somewhere else, but that's definitely quite strange. Now, yes, okay, I did go for that. Now this is quite an annoying thing, but it's definitely cool when you get it. Basically, you get on here, boost, and then you have to jump just at the right like angle and whatnot to do it right. And then you get to this area. But yeah, that is quite annoying. Okay, this is another death warp. Just to get back to the center. Okay, so now I'm gonna do something called Funyun, which it basically means fast onion. Onion is a clip that then after then you can do a death warp, but this is like a faster way of doing it. So basically you clip through the building and then you jump there. And at that point you are in the building where you jump from. But it works. But yeah, if I fall off at this point, then I will die and the run will be over. Okay, that's another miniature death warp. Good shuffles. Oh nice, I actually went for the risky thing there. Cool. This is another death warp. I'm just doing the turnaround just because why not. This jump can get quite close, but it's fine. Normally you'd use the billboard. Okay, so that's the graffiti down, and now just one more death warp to get to the center.
Skyscraper district, where we get to see the immortals finally work their.
Now, it seems that quite a lot of people get confused about this. Sometimes people think that it's a glitch that we can end the fight so early. It's actually not. It's literally just that you just need to spray one of them like 6 or 7 times or something like that, and it will finish it for you, because it's not in the story. It's not about getting rid of them. It's about like scaring them off to high res 0. So yeah.
The Immortals are
that
tearing
is
up
just
Highway
how it
Zero.
works. It's just
You're on
most
top of the
people
grade.
usually
Don't let me down.
can't react, I guess, to where they go as quickly, so they usually lose them and they go on and on around the area. But yeah, there's nothing strange about that. Okay, the 19th soul that we collect is that one. Now there's only one more. Okay, drop there, get round. Yeah, you don't need many cans at all for this. Clearly. Yeah, that was definitely a good skyscraper section. Definitely. Okay, so again, this is just trying to do it the most efficient way possible.
Look like it's just one-on-one, folks.
That looked good to me. Yep. Okay. So, talk to Jazz, then talk to the noise tank. One thing that's just odd that I like to point out is that after you talk to the noise tank, both the noise tank and Jazz are actually facing like away from where they were at the beginning. And using certain techniques, you can basically pause it in that state where they're looking that way, which is kind of weird, but anyway. So now I get to this area. This is just a matter of throwing the ball to her, and now that we have completed that, basically this is just a waiting time of about 2.5 minutes. I often just do some random stuff, because why not? Actually, it might only be 2 minutes. Yeah, I think it's only 2 minutes. Anyway, this is all just waiting. It doesn't matter what I do at this point, so we can skip forward on that. The idea is that you're supposed to be practicing with her,
Hold your
but
seats, kiddies.
you don't
Now
need to do any of
everybody's
that.
favorite extreme sport, the game where everyone risks their lives for a shot at street stardom. Death Ball! And yours truly.
There are quite a
DJ
few interesting
Professor
things
Kid,
you can do in
bringing
that
the
time,
action
though,
with
like
live
going out
coverage
of bounds
from
and
the site
stuff
of
like
the
that.
Tokyo Rikaku Expo Stadium. Let the games
There's
begin,
some
baby.
stuff though that I think soft locks the game, so
First up, we
have to be careful.
those hard-headed bikers, the Doom Riders.
we don't need to hear about this.
3, 2, 1, go!
The Doom Riders used to be called Hell.
Okay, I go on the inner section primarily because I find it slightly easier. I don't know if it's faster. I don't really care. If it is slower, there's like almost no difference. I just find it easier to go, like, to be holding right here, and then the moment I land on the ground, basically quick turn, like that.
No, seriously.
So quick turn boost, grab the ball, and then
Now they've had their score
I'm usually in a really good position to go past the wall correctly, shuffle, and then do this. Okay, that's the first race. Okay, drop the noise tank, get the second race going.
3, 2, 1, go!
Damn, them immortals are ugly. So ugly, not even them mother could love them.
Honestly, Death Ball is kind of filler. Like, there's not really any reason for it. It's also annoying filler. I mean, it's basically just 10 minutes of nothing. Nice quick turn. I'm not sure if it's faster to quick turn or to just like carry on at that point. If you can get a dash out of the quick turn, it's probably better. I would assume.
No guts. I guess after 5,000 years, they ain't got no brain.
Okay, I think that was an okay race. I don't pay all that much attention to how good the races are.
Now, the GGs have finally.
Okay. There is one. Sounds a bit strange. There's one difference in the last round from a speedrun perspective, and that is that you want to try and have 30 cans by the end of it. So there's something particular that I do that is just a very tiny difference. But yeah, this time it's actually important how many cans you get, because the cans don't pass over between rounds, but they do pass over between the end of this round and then the fight, to the noise tank cleanup chapter 6, which is kind of strange, but it's interesting. It's definitely helpful. Ah yes, I forgot to show you the bit that I'm talking about. Anyway, so what I do is I collect this blue can. That's like the only difference. It's probably a tiny bit slower than just going past it, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know why though, because I have enough cans, but anyway.
The game's been interrupted. They've been surrounded by the Rokaku police. Man, who called these fools? These party crashers are messing everything up.
Okay, we can skip this.
Rokaku police's terror drone
It's
show
about
up again.
a minute or so of Hayashi laughing like an idiot. Okay, this can be annoying. It's just there isn't all that much going on here. It's just a specific way of doing it to be able to spray it very quickly. That's all that is. Okay, so that's Death Ball done. Look like a pretty good split. Definitely. Oh dear. Oh dear. I pressed one of the numbers, that's why it went all over the place. Okay, yeah, that's basically that section done. Yes, this is the cutscene you get directly after finishing the Terror Drone in the stadium. So, now here we are. Okay, so in this section, it's kind of simple. All we have to do is bash into about 200 noise tanks.
There's the bell. and it looks like the competitors are already good
which
to
is
go.
quite a strange
Tell you what to do. Just run into 'em and
objective,
take 'em
but
out.
this is actually definitely a movement heavy area. It's all about intricate turns and whatnot. Well, not just this area really, but just this section. Okay, that's the last soul you need. One thing I will say when it comes to the graffiti souls is that you need 5 or... Okay, this is... I'll start off with something that's kind of strange. You start off with 20, so technically you need 25, but you only collect 5, so just bear that in mind. You need 25 to fight with Rapid 99 in the flag battle in 99th Street, and you need 40, which means collecting 20, at Clutch for that whole thing to happen, so there is a reason behind getting the souls. If we didn't have to, it would save, I think, about 32 seconds. But that's only from the cutscenes of the souls, so it actually saved quite a lot more. Over a minute, at least I would think. Probably. But yeah, the soul we got just now, yeah, that's the one that you basically activate from the mystery tape in Dogen. That's the whole kind of thing behind the tape. And then you unlock it as you go to beat. Or rather, as you start, just before racing him. That was kind of bad. Was that a trick jump? That is quite sad. Normally you'd want to... Oh, and I fell over. Nice. Normally you'd want to hop off the rail. That was good though. There is a really stupid thing you can try and do here that saves a little bit of time, but it's so dumb I'm not even going to talk about it. It's barely a few seconds anyway. Just gets to this lot faster. Also, that the blue cans on that rail are definitely of interest to routing, I guess, or finding optimizations. One thing I will say is that I do try and do them in a very particular order. It's not just random. Okay, that's a bit slow. Yeah, this isn't looking like a particularly good noise tank, to be honest. Yeah, ouch. Yeah, that. Yeah, not good. Interestingly, I think the amount of noise tanks you have to get can actually be affected by, like, if you do the sewers, which is quite weird, but because when you spray the switches, they almost count, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting though, because it means that glitchless, where you have to do the sewers, and maybe something like 100%, you can do it slightly differently, which is cool. But yeah, this really is not good. I'm gonna save a bit of time, but I had like 13 seconds to save, and I only saved 3 of them, so there's about 10 seconds to save there. And also, I don't think that's my most optimized split, so you know, there's a gold split, I guess, so there definitely is quite a bit of time there. Alright, that turnaround is quite helpful, really.
Time to kick some booty, y'all. Defeat.
Hey.
His cover's been blown. It was nothing but an imposter. He overheated with anger. Looks like the noise tanks is behind all of this.
I want to see if I do a particular thing here. Okay, I don't. If you jump across a little bit before, like maybe like half a second before here, you can get onto the left side of the tracks, and you can pick up the cans there, which does give you about 10 extra cans, which is very nice. And it's basically the same speed for the actual Sky Dinosaur and Square split. So it just saves some time in clutch, but it is more risky. You can hit the noise tank and fall off. There are quite a lot of things that can happen that can go wrong. Okay. Change to Corn, because we will be switching characters and it's faster to change to Corn there and then change back to Gun rather than having to do a double switch. Clutch wouldn't do this if we didn't have 40 souls, so that's where that comes in.
Seems like Clutch is hanging out at Kibogauke Hill.
I don't know if this next bit would be considered a glitch, although I guess it kind of is, because it's not allowed in any percent glitchless, but basically it's like one of the most like strange things. I mean, it's like the most easy thing imaginable, and yeah, it's a glitch. Literally all you do is change characters and it completely gets rid of the cops. I mean, that's it. But yeah, you have to fight them in glitchless. Jump across. The Wekio is not faster. The Wekio is a way to skip, because you'll get that brief cutscene there, because the cops respawn again when you do that. Because it's a hitbox that they are in, or that they spawn in, basically. There's a way to avoid that, but you go so far around that it only saves, or rather it loses about a second, so there's no point in doing it. Wekio is slower. Okay, that's the clutch split. Looked like it was pretty good to me. Fine, at least. Okay, now we have FRZ.
Residential. Spray the blue device and stop that timer.
FRZ is very technical and also very fun.
First, spray the blue device to stop it.
I regret that I didn't go for ladder jump, because it'd be cool to look at it now, but at the same time I probably wouldn't have got it, and the run probably wouldn't have been world record, so I don't regret it. But yeah, ladder jump skips out like this bit here until you get to there. It's just a way of jumping from one ladder up to the next, basically. You just jump at a very specific point. It's not that bad, but it's not great, and it can lose you quite a lot of time, like 10 seconds maybe a bit more. And it only saves about 4 maybe, so it's really not that important. And as I said, it is quite difficult. Even more difficult if you want to boost while doing it, which I don't do. Anyway, this looks okay to me. Not great, but yeah, not great. But it's okay.
That means that you have somehow managed to deactivate all of the blue.
Yeah. Not particularly fast, but it will do. Okay, this is an interesting, it's not a glitch, it's just an interesting jump.
Stop the blue device.
Pretty cool, I
Now
think.
find the red one and disarm it.
I think it saves about 12-13 seconds maybe, over like what the game might expect you to do, I would think. But yeah, a lot of FRZ is just pretty technical jumps. You can skip out having to go on that bit. You can jump directly from the very edge of this area, like to the spiral staircase, but it is very close, and just not even close to being worth it. Nice. That's definitely a cool thing to do. I think it is faster than feather jump. Or at least it's way easier. Or maybe not way easier, but it... I don't know, let's just say it's better.
Man, oh man.
Okay, that's also a nice jump. Unfortunately, if you do the, I guess, Suprix jump, the one I just talked about, you can't do, if you do it like right, you can't really do the Jabro jump or the Super Jabro jump, which is a shame, but there we go. I think it's probably still faster to go for the Suprix jump though, and that's the Aaron jump. One thing I will say, and this is relevant, you can go on the inside and do a much more stupid version of this jump, but you miss out on all of these cans. I don't see that as being worth it at all. Especially as cans are helpful, and they pass over to the next split, which is the main reason.
Heads up! You got golden rhinos incoming!
In fact, really the only reason, because it doesn't take many cans to do the jets. Quick jets, nice. All good. But yeah, that was quite a slow FRZ, to be honest. Definitely not great. Okay. Now, claws. Claws is very interesting. Definitely very interesting. Another one of the really annoying parts of the run, but
There ain't no superhero to save the day in the world to the streets, baby. It's all up to you to take on the road for yourself. Low-life punks are rampaging through Chuo Street.
okay, so
Zero is in a sea of
I
flames.
think you can do it with
Golden
31
Rhino's laying waste to
cans.
the street and showing
I think you can do it and it still be worth it from another point of view in a speedrun, like the cans you have with 32. But it can be very kind of dodgy, so you have to be careful. Okay. Or rather, you need 31 cans at least at this point. So, yeah.
The Golden Rhinos have thrown Chuo Street into panic. Take down that twisted punk.
Okay, that is Quick Claw, or No Cycle Claw Guy. And it saves about 18 seconds over a flawless one cycle Claw Guy. And it's also very annoying. Basically, my consistency for it is about 70%, and I practiced this over 1,000 times. So, and actually, I took note of every time I did it, and I worked out like how consistent I was at it. And every 100 attempts, I'd maybe rise by like 3% or something. So it took me a long time to get anywhere near good at this, because the way you have to turn is just horrible for me. The way it works, there is a lot to it. It is very close. And yeah, if I hadn't gotten it, that would have been it. I couldn't have got world record. Oh, I could have, but not with the stuff I had in the rest of the run. If the rest of the run had been really good or perfect, yeah. But anyway, I did get it. So now this is basically just going over to flames. Okay, that was fast, but I have very few cans compared to what would be optimal, so it's kind of unfortunate. Okay, good. Now, I boost along here because you don't really need many cans to do flames. Definitely less than a lot of people seem to think. Okay, claws. That was a gold, nice. Yeah, very good claws. Definitely going to be painful to go against.
golden rhinos and turn Highway 0 into a sea of flames. Take down that pyromaniac.
That isn't looking great. Ouch. Shit. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. That was a really bad 3-cycle, I think. Maybe a 4-cycle, I don't know. I think it was a 3-cycle though. You can get a 2-cycle. But yeah. Definitely unfortunate.
My signal is fading quick. Who the hell are you, sucker? Help me! Hey, don't touch that! Get your hands up! Stop! That's my stuff! Sucker, I'm warning you! Get off! Get off! Don't make me close! Help me! Help! Sayonara!
Yeah, definitely not a good flames, unfortunately. Yikes. Yeah, I lost like 10 seconds on flames. Wow.
Hey, listen up. The golden rhinos are here.
Kind of pathetic.
Listen up, fools. I'm gonna keep broadcasting.
Okay. Flames. Nah, no, not flames. Train. There's quite a few ways to do this. This is the way that I think is both fast and good, and effective, and not horrendously difficult. So this is what I do. But, yeah. So boost there, go across. Do this side as much as you can. Jump over. It can be close. And some of the time you don't have enough cans, or you're not close enough, or you know, it can go very wrong. Okay. That was a pretty good train, apparently. This is where like all the time saved from it being on Japanese comes in. This cutscene and the cutscenes around it are way less long in Japanese. Like it's over a minute difference overall compared to English. Okay, all that is going to there, and then you have another cutscene. Okay, now we have 0 beats. The thing about 0 beat is if you make even one move that's slightly wrong, it can go completely wrong and you lose the whole run. So definitely not the most stress-free part. Okay, not particularly fast, but it's fine. In this part, this is pretty much just waiting as well. In this part I just make sure I have full health and as many cans as possible. Then I decide to go for the legendary pickle, which I do not get. The pickle is a clip where you basically get through there and there's nothing else, it's not interesting. That's all it is. I did get it a long time ago. Over 2 years ago, I would think, when I was absolutely horrendous. I think my RTA time was like 2:18 or something stupid. in that run. Although at the time my PB was probably like 209 or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, Pickle is interesting. This is just cutscene. Okay, so the first time you just boost through him effectively, fall down, get about 35 cans. Doesn't have to be exactly. However, in my case, because the end wasn't great, I think if I hadn't got 35, it would have been over. Now, I just want to say this is the most nerve-wracking part. I mean, oh my god, this was painful. Because this is actually bad. I was too far away from him at this point, or I went slightly too far away each time, or that kind of thing. I truly, at this point, did not think I would get it. Because this was not going well. And somehow, this, I don't know how, but this one last can there managed to do it. And I ended with 0 cans, and that was that. I'm honestly amazed I didn't run out of cans there. It was crazy. But there we are. Bad Akamu. Really bad Akamu, actually. Lost about 6 seconds. But that's the run. To summarize, I do not think this run is particularly good. One thing I will say is that with this run, the amount of tricks that no matter how much you practice are still going to be difficult and still going to feel random, even though they're not, is way too high. I mean, if you only take like the main difficult tricks in this run, you know, I have, and I think I worked it out once, about a 13% chance of getting them all in one run. And that's taking into account that I had to do it twice for Quikage. So it is definitely quite a tricky run to get enough things in it. And I think that, and bear in mind, that's just like the main difficult tricks. There's a lot of stuff around the edge that can make you go wrong. So yeah, it is difficult to improve from my perspective because of the amount of really stupid things that can just go wrong easily. However, it is really not that great a run if you look at it from the perspective of the amount of things that went wrong. I lost about 10 seconds in Chapter 1. I lost about 20 seconds in Hikage, so that's already 30 seconds. I lost about 10 seconds at Noise Tanks, that's another 10. So we're at 40. I lost 6 seconds in Akamu, that's like 46. FRZ, I also lost about 6 or 8 seconds. That's already like 52, 54-ish. So, you know, there definitely is room for improvement. 135 IGT is definitely possible, although it would be really horrible to try and get. But yeah, I think that this run is outdated. I think it's had its time. I don't really think it it had its. I don't really think it should have had its time, really. It wasn't particularly great or anything. But yeah, I feel that this run kind of, it deserves to be updated, shall we say. But I guess we'll have to wait and see whether me or Yayo does that first. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, thanks and bye.